like the biggest win is being able to have what looks like everybody still be able to train with you today after
Yeah.
that. Can you, I don't know, elaborate a little bit? I mean, was everybody
You talking about
in,
Nuhu in specific?
well, new who
or
JP, like it seemed like as much as, I don't know what your uh, plan is for everybody, but it seemed like they were able to do things
Our
rather than
plan is to
suffer.
try and have everybody back and available for the Dallas match, and we're working on that. Nuhu partook in summit training. JP was most training. There were some other guys that we held out just because they had high numbers, high outputs, tightness, soreness. So the fitness guys are doing a good job of making sure that they're available. And specifically to Nuhu, he's not. It's not horrible. It's not a pulled muscle or anything. We think it's kind of cramping. He was fasting. He had those monster runs, and it just was one of those moments. I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Brian, you had a chance to now have the weekend to look at the tape. Obviously, it's a big win. But what are some of the things that you wish you guys would have done differently?
Differently? I don't know about differently. I think maybe better.
Okay.
Because they were on this last game of a long stretch to start the season, and did we push them over the edge, or did they not want to play, or what was the dynamics there at the start of the game? I think we start off the game good, but there was that little bit of spell. Raul scores a golazo, and we get the penalty, and we're in control, but then there was a little bit of fight in them. There were some moments, 30, 40, in there, in that range, still at 2-0. Steph has to make that save. There were some things we could have done better defensively. But look, at the end of the day, I'm not going to complain. I mean, our attacking movements were good. I thought there was a little better, finishing of our chances, and certainly the red card after that, I think the game was over.
And within that same vein, I think one of the things that seems to be overlooked by the fact that the team scored so many goals is that big save that Steph made. That really, it seemed as though it brought a lot of confidence to the attacking play.
Yeah, so we didn't overlook it. We showed that as one of the film clips from this morning. And we also showed Jacob Castro's saves from the Defiance game that kept them in it as well. And it's the importance of that position. I mean, sometimes, look, he gets a lot of attention, but goalkeepers in general, they do a lot of heavy lifting behind the scenes. Maybe they don't get as much credit as they should, but that was a big moment in the game.
Briefly going back to just how it looked like Leo was full participant today. Is that accurate? Is that not accurate?
He was impartial. We took some load off him today, but he's gearing up towards full training this week.
So that the injury maybe was not as serious as initially thought?
Well, look, the tendinitis versus a torn tendon versus pain tolerance versus, some of the anti-inflammatories versus some of the work to strengthen the quad to prevent some of that. All of that is coming together, yes, faster than the original timeline, and that's good news for us.
What did you see out of the third goal? I mean, I counted 19 passes in that sequence. It seems like switching the point of attack. It just seemed like everything worked on that.
Yeah, everything worked. There was a little bit of rotation in between players, but spaces on the field we wanted covered were there. Again, I thought it was a really well constructed goal, and Jordan's little behind the back little thing was just icing on the cake.
In what ways do you think Cody Baker impacted the team's 5-0 victory on Saturday night?
The impact that he had was positive. He's a good kid, works hard. Defensively, did he make a couple of mistakes? Yes. He's a little rushed, a little pressing because he was excited to be on the field. But offensively, probably was the biggest bettering of his expectations, because I thought he was very good when the ball has his feet, and so that was a bonus for us.
Just in general, how would you describe his playing style, and what do you think he brings to the team?
He's a hard-nosed, tough kid. mostly known for his defensive work ethic, but again, he showcased some skills that were pleasant to see.
We asked
Beyond
him about-
confidence, is there a question of him like moving up the ranks in a sense of being equal consideration to Nuhu at that spot, or is it like?
Well, he
'cause
trained
he's-
very well today, Jada, and let's see how Nuhu comes. I think this is the last day of Ramadan, I believe.
Yeah.
And let's see how Nuhu comes out. There is going to be talk about whether we keep the same starting lineup that won 5-0. I think all the players played well. There will be that conversation versus is Nuhu kind of a penciled-in starter. So he's in that conversation. How that conversation proceeds throughout the course of a full year, I would tell you this: that he's, he's done a lot to improve his standing. Let's put it that way.
We asked Cody Baker about the culture of always being ready, always being prepared to go in. That's something that you guys have fostered here for a while. Can you tell us, bring us into what that preparation looks like during the week? Is that you develop that by having those mini matches that you have at the end of the week? I mean, there seems to be a lot of positives out of those.
I'm not so sure it's the actual training. Yes, the trainings are intense, and we have certain, drills that we like. It's the messaging. It's about Seattle being a winning team. That we started off in MLS and back to the USL, and then the A-League, and then NASL. We've always been a competitive, winning franchise, and I think that just kind of bleeds into people, especially kids like Cody, who've been around for a long time, probably watched a bunch of Sounder games when he was this tall, and now he's playing, but he's heard that so many times that it's ingrained in him. And so I think that comes more from messaging. The spirit of him trying to take someone else's job, or him finding more playing time, or all of that, that's internal. That's all stuff that he wants to accomplish with his career.
Oh, okay. Well, no, you could. I wanted to know if you saw the Athletic article, kind of questioning the difficulty of y'all winning your CCL title. Do you know any?
They called it easy
Yeah.
path to the
Yeah.
championship.
And now
They
it's
did?
flimsy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might
And
have
now
to
the-
read it.
You might have to read it. Yeah.
I guess my question is if that, how do you look back at that? Because I mean, there were champions that you beat in the way on the path to becoming champions. Like if you look at their different leagues and such. But yeah, I wanted to know how you kind of
Champions
look
League
back.
is Champions League, right?
Yeah.
So Lyon, Pumas, New York City SC. Who did we play first? God, my memory's failing.
Olympia, was it? No.
There was. Look, we beat legitimate teams.
Oh, no, Motagua.
Yeah.
So Lyon was a very good team. We played them in the final of the year before in that Leagues Cup, in Vegas. Pumas is a historically good. I'll have to read it, Jada, but look, everybody has an opinion. I mean, they can do it. I hope that the MLS teams that are left, Miami and Columbus, have a good performance. I hope we get a team in there. It's good for the league. I saw some of the articles from a while back saying that, the Mexican teams were putting a renewed interest since we won, trying to reestablish dominance. I think it's cyclical. I think we're going to catch them at some point. Maybe they have statistically more teams in it the last 2 years, but our teams are always going to be competitive.
I wanted to kind of touch with on the JP situation. He's going to have to be monitored. Just wanted to get your take on how he's doing after a quick shift that he had just now.
Yeah, the game was cooked by then. It was a great opportunity to just get him some minutes. The bigger test will be going through a full week of absolute hard training, some minutes against Dallas, and then we'll see what it is, but he's fine.
Even though it was only a few minutes, how did it feel having him back?
It was good. The crowd loved it. JP loved it. It was good. Good for him. Good for the fans.
On a personal level, I mean, how much relief does that 5-0
I
win
would've taken
give
1-0.
you?
I would have taken 1-0 at the 90th minute.
Okay.
Just a win.